your brothers here, Sean. Are we to sing for this jingle?
Yeah, we are.
All right.
We are. So here you go here.
You talked about everything you've learned and what a great journey it was.
No, but it's funny. It's some of the stuff that I've seen is you look at it and you're like, hey, I get it. I guess what we really want to do is educate the community. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a podcast that brings you informed discussion to help make their community safer.
Thank you, everyone, and welcome to the GardaWorld Podcast. My name is Amir Atri. I'm the Vice President for Central Canada. Today, I'm here with Luciano. Luciano, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I wanted to talk to you specifically about the commercial space in downtown Toronto. What are some of the things that you've noticed that customers or these properties may require in their security needs after the pandemic?
I think the pandemic offered a lot of property managers a chance to reassess the needs of the security industry and the security programs as they go forward. And what we're seeing, I think, is a transition from the traditional guard. When you think about guards, you think about a person standing at a door or guarding a desk. But I think that that's really going to change in the next few years, certainly in the next few months. As we reopen the economy, a lot of that traditional commercial real estate space is no longer just dedicated to office space. They've reimagined that space. They talk about creating a user experience. So it's not just about going to the commercial tower anymore and going to work. People may live in those same towers. They may work out in those same towers. They'll do their grocery shopping maybe a block away. And really, it's a move towards this concept of a 15-minute city. So you will work, live, and play within that 15-minute walk. And so with that comes a whole new set of security risks that we need to manage, and our guards have to be better prepared for, better trained for, and more engaged, quite frankly, with their environment to be able to understand what's going on and to react before things become problematic.
Which makes sense. So, in essence, the typology of the users of the facilities has been mixed, which does require a different type of guard. I know at GardaWorld, there was a division that was currently running under you for Prestige Services. Tell me about Prestige and how does it fit into this 15-minute city? So
Prestige really comes out of a gap that's existed in the security industry where, we accepted not necessarily poor service, but service as it was at that standard. And there wasn't really an attempt made to raise or elevate the quality that guards can bring to a property. And so I think now with the pandemic behind us, the new vision of where security risk is going, there's a real opportunity for us to not only fill that gap, but recreate the vision of what a security guard can be. And so Prestige really focuses on establishing quality service. Obviously, we want our clients to be happy, very service oriented, because as we talked about, that 50-minute city that you so rightfully pointed out is going to have different requirements. So one minute that guard may have to deal with a drug overdose. The next minute he's got to be dealing with the CEO of a financial top 50 company. And 5 minutes after that, he may be helping an old lady take her groceries up to her condominium, for example. And so with that, those guards need new skills. They need to understand more than just security. They really need to understand the diversity of the environment that they're working with, the types of people they're engaging with, and all the different, influences that they have to be aware of when they're engaging those people in the new environment where everybody's got a phone and everybody's ready to pick out for something that you're doing in that may not be right. In our training, our Prestige program is really focused on delivering that quality guard, someone who's engaged, knows what he's getting into or she's getting into, and has the competency and the confidence to be able to engage confidently in that environment.
Yeah, which makes sense in what the facility requires per se. If you were to look at it from the old perspective of managing a contract or managing security for a facility, it makes sense to have the right quality person and a right type of person essentially working there. Now, we understand that as security professionals. We understand that because we're at the Sharpie end of the stick. We meet with angry residents and we meet with folks or the facility users. What has been your experience discussing this type of service with customers or the property managers per se? Are they open to providing this level of service to their tenants and their residents?
Yes, I think the timing is right. And for those who don't know, I come from the client side. So I was one of those angry, testy people that GardaWorld used to deal with. And I've got a new appreciation coming on this side of the business. And so I think when we talk to those clients with that experience, that we're able to connect and relate to some of their issues and their challenges, we can empathize with what they need. I think we are in a good position to offer them what they're looking for. And they are looking for something different. So, to your point, when we talk about prestige to prospective clients, they are excited about the possibility of change, of something other than your regular guard service that every other contractor is out there promising. And the other important aspect, I think, of prestige that I think highlights the value that it brings to the table is that it's not a one-way street. Right. And we make this clear up front with our clients.
Right.
It's not just, you buy prestige and we show up and change the shirts and turn the key and it's all up and running. It's actually a transformative journey. We've talked about the transformative journey where we meet with the client. We have a client that's actually engaged with us. It's not just a contract that you walk away from. We will meet with them. We talk about where they want to go and we develop a roadmap on how to get there. And that's really what the prestige offering sort of encapsulates. It's more than just a guard service. It is an experience where we bring you to the table and we want to engage with you, but we need your input as a client as well. It's a two-way street.
And I think it's very important to make sure that we fully understand the facility's vision and also meet the requirements that they have while providing a level of service to the facility users that's really unseen and unmatched anywhere else. So I'm happy to be part of this process and to try and develop and implement at different properties throughout Toronto. One of the biggest challenges with this type of a model, as you very well know and I know very well, is staffing.
Yes.
Staffing is not what it used to be. Nobody really wakes up and says, I'm going to be a security guard or I'm going to go into a security industry. The type of folks that join us are either a transient nature, newcomers into Canada, students, people that are in between careers or retired from different careers. So how do you foresee getting the right people for this position? Because at the end of the day, all security companies are really drawing from the same pool of population of licensed security guards. It's not a matter of changing their uniform, as you said, and putting a different logo on top of the customer's invoice. It's truly about changing the user experience. So where are we going to find these folks?
Well, it's a great question because, to your point, we all dwell from the same well, and that well's pretty shallow nowadays. Yeah. But fortunately, I think what we're trying to do with Prestige is to open up that pool. We're looking into new areas of, casting that rod, if you will, to find new people that might not have thought of security as a career opportunity, but they have the skill sets that we're looking for, and we can add on security training to that personality. So really customer focus, engagement is really important. Like, we don't want people who just sit there on their phone and, look at the skies. We want people who are out there. They want to talk to people. They want to engage with people. They want to help people. And there are other markets out there where we can find those people, whether it be, healthcare, hospitality, retail. There's different avenues that we can target. So that's sort of how we're expanding the pond, if you will. To make it more attractive, I think for me personally, one of the key drivers for Prestige is to actually make it a role where someone coming into a Prestige program can actually make a career out of it and a living at it. So we talk about living wage. Well, Prestige doesn't start at, $15, $16 an hour. We come in with a much higher rate, and we are upfront with the client as to why that rate needs to be there. You have to pay for what you get. You can't get a Corvette on a Chevy salary types and budget. Exactly. So that's the reality. And we're very upfront with the clients when we talk about budgeting and what we need to pay these guards. But that is one of our focuses, is to make it feasible for them to come into our world, our Prestige world. And there's a cost to them. I mean, they have to submit to courses and training. They have to meet that standard. We test them, make sure that they achieve those levels that we talk about. And until they reach level 3, they won't be considered Prestige guards, but once they are,
makes sense. And just to say, a Corvette is a Chevy, just so you know. Yeah.
I meant Chevette.
There you go.
I'm aging myself.
No, fair enough. I think that's a big discussion to have. The customers that want the service, I would imagine, would be prepared to pay for it, because the experience, if everybody could do it, then it wouldn't be special. Yep. and making sure that the wages and the overhead that's going to be involved with getting a person who is excellent in customer service to a level that we require them at a major property downtown. To be able to service those clients is a discussion to be had, and it's an upfront discussion to be had. Security is no longer the night watchman with a whistle. Yep. It's come a long way. It's gotten sophisticated. They're using analytic technology. They're using CCTV cameras, various different apps and software and building automation systems. And so it requires that type of a skill set for that position. We're no longer watering plants and delivering paper. Yes. And you know, we have customers that ask of us that, and they don't necessarily want to pay more and fair. Yep. But if you're expecting a better quality of service, some of those costs have to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, and the refreshing thing is, you know, we've talked about the fact that there are clients out there that recognize that. They're not all there looking for the bottom dollar service. Right. There are some quality clients that, you know, we're dealing with now who have stepped up and realized that, hey, these people are people like their own employees, and they deserve a good, positive environment to work with, and they're prepared to pay for that. So it is refreshing. I also think that our clients are becoming smarter or more savvy, if that's the better word for it, when it comes to security. The ones who really, there's a lot of them out there who just want the guard. To your point, you know, put them in a uniform and that's security to them. But the more savvy ones out there, I think, are looking for something like Prestige that engages them a little more, promises them a guard who's not just going to be a pylon or a pineapple, for lack of a better word, but they are looking for that Prestige quality service. And that's really been, I think, exciting for us, because it's starting to prove what we had as a theory just months ago is now rapidly becoming a real like a concept.
For sure, yeah. It took us about 1.5 years to get to where we are today. There's been a lot of discussions and a lot of input from different stakeholders within that community that essentially is the buyer. So I do appreciate you and the background that you have, but including a number of folks that have helped us to get to where we are, and the surveys they've answered for us certainly has put us on the right path. Now, you know, we've spoke about the type of quality that we need. We spoke about the pay rate and the training and a higher level of engagement. Do we have a working model yet? Has this started and have we implemented it for a customer?
We're on our way. I can't point to a site today and say it's Prestige certified, which was something we may want to talk about as well. But we are on our way at a number of sites where the training regimen has basically been mapped out. We understand the types of courses that are going to be needed. How we're going to make those a reality is sort of in process right now. Uniforms are going to have new uniforms that look better, feel better, make the people wearing them feel better, which is really important. They're going to be much nicer fabric, like they look classier. It's all about the service and the look with Prestige. So that's what we're really focused on. But I think it's you'll probably see a real Prestige site very shortly. Like we're talking 4 to 6 weeks at tops.
And I'm happy to hear that. It's not a certification that is given lightly to a site. It does take a real effort, even as something as simple as the shirts, making sure that we have female shirt and female pants and not a unisex that essentially everybody provides. Yeah. So having specific uniform for specific genders for sure goes a long way to add to add some validity to what we're trying to do. But at the same time, I'm happy to hear that it's not just given. It's earned, and there's quite a bit of work that goes behind it. You're not a one-man team. You have a number of people that work for you that are specifically for our Prestige portfolio and the sites that are achieving that certificate. It's something impressive.
Yeah, it's something I think that's lacking in the business, in the industry for a long, long time. When you talk about commercial real estate, they've got a big, they've got a lot of excitement for things like LEED certification, which for those who don't know, it's about sustainability and being green. And that's offered through BOMA, the Association of Building Owners. So we've approached them on establishing a security standard as well, and sort of force our competition to meet us at the higher level. Because at the end of the day, I think, yeah, we want to be the number one fish in the pond when it comes to security. But if we can change the industry, I think that's a great add-on, a great benefit for us as well. So I think by forcing, we're going to bring in that certification, whether BOMA likes it or not. We're going to call it our, it's GardaWorld certification at this point. But people will start asking, once they see it on the doors of our buildings, they're going to say, what is that? And once those questions start getting asked and we can prove with the service that's there that, this is what it's all about, this is what you get, I think people like BOMA will start turning their heads and saying, maybe we should start looking at a certification for security that's more than just a company-driven one, but one that's industry-driven. And I think, long-term, looking down long-term, the benefits of that would be, priceless. Better wages, better guards, better uniforms, all that kind of stuff starts to come into play.
Yeah, none of us joined this industry for fame or fortune, or certainly because of our looks. So being able to improve our own society by providing a better environment for our employees and providing meaningful employment, changing the face of security where people are excited to join this industry and not are forced because of a certain situation to be in it. And having people to come to this industry, I think, is a key success for me and a legacy I would like to leave behind within our own industry, in Canada or even in Toronto. So that's what I'm more excited about, creating a meaningful way to improve our industry and leveling up and forcing everyone else to also level up.
Yeah, I would agree. And I'm glad to be part of that. It was refreshing to see a company that's willing to stake on it, bet on it. And I think we're going to make a good run of it. Like I said, the clients are interested. The interest is certainly there. We just have to deliver that. But there's lots of excitement around the program. And I think more and more people find out about it, hear about it. They want to know about it. And that speaks well for our future and potential to do that, to achieve that.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you joining us for this podcast. And thank you very much for the insight. Looking forward for a full rollout and another report. But thank you again.
Thank you.